Everyone, it's Luke here,
Hello, it's Shady.
and welcome to Game Week 17, our match preview. Obviously, coming away from a slight disappointing loss against Juve in the last game week. What were your thoughts on that game, Shady?
Yeah, well, I'll give you my thoughts, Luke, but I'm just impressed by the view you've got there. It's a nice backdrop.
Yep. I've after the Juve match, I decided to come up and just kind of compile my thoughts about the season on a wellness retreat, and just re-level myself about what we were doing, because I thought just needed that before I appeared on this again, Shady.
Yeah, recharge your batteries before going back into the season. Yeah, no, it's a good call. Good call, mate. No, I love it.
Yeah.
I was disappointed. I mean, it was a bit. I was proud, definitely, and a lot of people have already said this, but I was very proud of the way the boys played. Did really well, given the circumstances. We did all right, but obviously I was really disappointed about the result. I did not want to lose that match. I didn't want our unbeaten streak to be ended by Andrea Pirlo. I was a bit disappointed about that. And on the balance of things on the night, I mean, I agree that our equalizer, in the build-up to our equalizer, was a foul on Hakan. I agree with that. But that being said, the referee was, as often is the case with Juventus, unfortunately, the referee really overcompensated in the second half. Bentancur should have been sent off. And I think that was, in my personal view, it was the turning point in the game. He really should have been sent off. And then there's the penalty at the end that the ref didn't give. Basically, he's just overcompensating for the mistake he made in the first half, which is not new, unfortunately, in Juventus games. So it's not the end of the world. It sucked to have lost to Juventus and to have lost to Pirlo in particular.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the world. We're still top of the league. We're lucky Inter lost at Samp. So we're still in it. We've still got a fighting chance. And hopefully we get Tonali back for this match. But hopefully as well in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll have everyone fit and raring to go. So, yeah, life goes on. Life goes on. We're still in it.
Absolutely. And I think overall, this team, as we always says, has done more than anyone has ever really expected of them. And I guess a league loss, I mean, it has to come eventually. And when you think of the teams that could, take it up to anyone, Juve would be up there. And to be honest, I thought with the team that we had, the injuries and whatever else that took players out of our team, I think we really took it to them more than we should have, I think. So I think that shows a little bit about the character of the team. So yeah, I'm not too bothered by it. I mean, our friends across the city, the Fools, screwed up their chance against Sampdoria. So I mean, overall, as you said, it's actually not too much lost. We're still on top of the table, so not too much lost there.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is, if we think about it calmly after the game, if somebody had told you back in August you're going to be top of the league in January, unbeaten for 27 matches, would you take it? You say yes, I think. Yeah, so not to rest on our laurels or anything. We need to keep going. We need to build on this. We need to bounce back with a win, really. But it's not the end of the world. Life goes on. And we get another chance to play Juventus, and maybe it would be good to finally beat them at the Allianz Arena, because we haven't done that yet. So it'd be good to do that at the end of the season.
And I loved reading Pioli's comments after the game. He said, I've got them here. He said, "The lads are disappointed, but in a way, it is good for us to experience the bitter taste of defeat because it's been a while." Then he said, "I gave them a pat on the back because when you give your all, there shouldn't be any regrets." So I think it sounds like they're going to use this to drive them on for the rest of the season, which is good to hear. I think they'll view it positively. They won't see this as a negative and crumble and crush down from here. Well, fingers crossed. But I would personally be shocked and surprised to see that. The only reason I could see us falling apart is due to this injury crisis that we're having. But other than that, I think that this team has the heart and character to kick on and finish the season off strongly.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, let's keep going. Hopefully, like I said, we start to get our players back. It was so unlucky. I mean, the day before you lose Rebic and Krunic,
I know.
It is what it is. It's fine.
And
Let's move on.
credit to Calabria who filled
It was amazing.
position where I don't know if he's ever really played there before, and I think he did a sufficient job considering.
He did the job. He did well. And again, for a good chunk of the game, I would say for 60 plus minutes, we were neck to neck really in that game.
Absolutely.
Could have got heads dropped towards the end and with the inexperience, and yet we still had chances. I mean, there was that run that Maldini was going through, and he could have passed it, threaded it through, I think, to Brahim Diaz, and he just tried to dribble and he lost that. And then there was obviously the penalty shot, and there were other chances. So we actually were in the game. I mean, even after all of that. So yeah,
absolutely,
credit where it's due to this squad. Let's just bounce back with a win, I think.
I mean, when you think about the team that we put out, some of the names and some of the ages that were in that team, no way in hell should they be putting it to those Juve players. Like, no way. It David and Goliath. So, see, I was, I mean,
which is good.
Yeah, obviously it's a loss. A loss is a loss, but yeah, it shows a bit about their character, definitely.
Yeah, definitely part of the growing pains, I guess, of becoming like a team of champions. So it's good.
Absolutely.
It's good. It's good experience. Mate, we seem to be coming up against all our former players, and we had Inzaghi, players and coaches. Sorry, we had Inzaghi, then Pirlo, and now it's a double whammy with Torino, Marco Giampaolo. How are you feeling about it?
Well, it's kind of interesting. I don't think any of us really have the best memories of the Giampaolo era at Milan. I mean, can you call it an era? It was pretty small, about the smallest era you could say. 8 games, was it?
Yeah, something like that. 7 or 8 games, something like that.
Yeah.
It was just one of those matches that was supposed to work. You know, it's like, I don't know. Comparing it to a personal analysis, it's like an ex that you on paper you should have gotten on really well with, and it just never worked. You didn't have that chemistry. She ticked all the boxes on paper, but in real life it just wasn't happening. You know what I mean? So it was one of those things. He's supposed to be this up and coming coach with these interesting tactics, who led like a relatively smaller team. Definitely, it had Arrigo Sacchi written all over it. Basically, Arrigo Sacchi's experience with Parma in the 80s, which is what led Berlusconi to bring him into Milan. It sounded a lot like that in a sense. Yeah. But yeah, it did not pan out that way, did it?
No. And what a different club it is. I mean, it's weird to think that was actually it wasn't that long ago. But oh my, I can remember thinking when he was in charge, this team is not going anywhere for years. Like, we are deep in a hole.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, yeah. The other side of the coin is, can you really judge a manager by just 7 games?
Yeah.
Giving him 7 games?
Was he given the time to do what he wanted?
Exactly. But obviously, management as a whole, including Maldini and Boga at the time, saw something that was like a big red flag.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have acted. It's not usually the Milan way to fire coaches like after. I mean, it sounds a lot more like Roman Abramovich or someone, very short-tempered.
And particularly Maldini, the Maldini time at Milan has not been like that at all. We haven't really thrown anyone out of the club or made quick decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So obviously something was wrong.
Absolutely.
He seems to be doing. I mean, Torino are struggling to an extent. I know that they've had a win or 2 and a draw lately, but they're still, I think, in 16th or 17th, right?
17th.
So they're struggling. Yeah. How do you see us? How do you see this match going into? I mean, is there anyone? Obviously, Belotti. I think a lot of talk about him if Ibra doesn't renew, about him bringing him over to Milan. Who stands out for you from this Torino squad? Yeah,
I think always Belotti. Really, he's kind of been that sole force at Torino for years. I mean, respect to him for never leaving. Obviously, he loves the club. He's captain. And he always comes good for the season. So obviously looking out for him. Do you think we should be looking out for another one of our old friends, Rodriguez?
Rodriguez, yeah, man, he's gonna turn into Roberto Carlos tomorrow, isn't he?
Let's hope.
Yeah. No, I think. Yeah, no, I think Ricardo Rodriguez is a good player defensively, but offensively, so maybe, I mean, he might, keep Castelleo in his pocket for the game, but I mean, but I don't think offensively he offers that much. Yeah. Obviously, I hope I don't live to eat those words. It doesn't come up with like a wonder strike from outside the area in the 90th minute or something against us tomorrow. Yeah.
It is interesting because we faced them at an interesting part of their season where I think they've really struggled up until 4 or 5 games ago, where it seems like maybe that Giampaolo way of doing things is starting to kick in slightly. But Torino are notoriously over the last few years of just being up and down, and
they've been very inconsistent.
Yeah,
very inconsistent. Yeah,
one to look at, but
yeah. I think I'm not. I think if we play our game, we should be fine.
Yeah.
We've had like I said, we've had our issues with injuries, but I think if we play our game, we should be able to get by. Really, in both games. In the league game, obviously that's a priority, I would say, and in the Copa game, I would hope that Maldini and Colombo and co get a chance. Yeah.
So you would think that Pioli's going to rest a few players. I mean, and bring in those types, the younger guys, to fill those roles.
I would hope so. It depends obviously on injuries and absences, but I would hope so. I'm just thrilled to have 2 midfielders that we can field, really. We have Tonali and Kessie for this league game to begin with, which is good.
Absolutely. And as you said, it'll be good to see Tonali go back in and Calabria go back. It just
100%.
It'll just work a little bit better. And really that back four with Teo, Romagnoli, Kier, and Calabria, I mean, it's pretty strong.
It's a very good.
And then Donnarumma behind them, so
exactly.
Can't ask for much more.
Pretty solid. Yeah. Who do you think is going to win it for us? Who do you think? I mean, who do you see?
You know what? I think the trend that's been with this team that has been struggling with injuries is that back line has really stepped up. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens again, but they're obviously not going to win the game for us. I think maybe Çalhanoğlu, he won.
He's out.
Oh, is he out? Oh, wow.
Yeah. He picked something up. I think he picked something up in the Juve game. I'm not sure what it was. Calf, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on which muscle, but he's out for the game.
Okay.
100%. Yeah. So I think they're gonna throw. I'm fairly certain they're gonna start Brahim Diaz.
Okay.
Yeah. And potentially Haga on the left and Castelleo on the right.
Yeah, it makes it very hard. That's not much experience up forward.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, I think Brahim Diaz is gonna have a good game.
Yeah, I mean and I think in the Juve match we saw the younger or just the whole team in general kind of slow down and tire out a bit. So it's a question of whether that front four really can play a full game, or most of them play a full game and perform for it all, or whether we have to go out and in the first 30 minutes score as much as we can, hit them hard.
Yeah, I would say we do a blitz like that. We start, because I think like you're saying, a lot of factors, tired legs, inexperience, a lot of things. Perhaps we won't be able to keep it up in the second half. So I would probably just go out and try and get the job done in the first half. Please try.
Yeah.
All right. How are you feeling about?
Yeah.
There's been talk. Actually, before we go to that, let's talk predictions. Let's get. It is a double header. We've got two games in like 4 days. Torino at San Siro. So let's go Serie A and Coppa Italia predictions, please.
All right, so our prediction, I'll say, I think it'll be a comfortable, I'll say 2-1. I think they'll get one on us, maybe. Actually, you know what? 2-0. Our defense is too
Nice.
good. It's too good. And then the Coppa Italia, maybe just a 1-0, 1-1, 1-0, I'll say. What about for you, Shady?
1-0. I was gonna go 2-0, but let me just shake it up a bit. Let me say, I'll go like the way of the optimist. I'll say 3-0 Serie A, and I'll go 2-1 Coppa Italia. 2-1 win Coppa Italia.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah. Maybe we need to
see how we go.
We probably needed to give Liz a call, see if she could.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But we'll have her on soon enough. It's all good.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about this. Seems to be like we're really hitting like a brick wall. It seems to be a dead end with the negotiations. So far, it's still early days, but in the Mercato, with both coordinator midfielder and some kind of defender, Strasbourg. Do you think it's an issue of us having no budget? Do you think no allocated budget really for like transfers, or do you think it's an issue of us playing hardball, or do you think it's Milan prioritizing the renewals?
Probably.
We've got 3 big renewals to finish.
I would say renewals, but I do recall, I think Elliott Management came out and said, or Gazidis probably, came out about a month or 2 ago and said that they're willing to spend a bit more over summer and at the end of next season, because they believe this team obviously they believe this team can do something, and that they're happy to give reinforcements. But from what we've seen, that hasn't really translated, because really all the contract renewals have been very slow and arduous. All of the transfer targets, the exact same thing. We're seeing us fighting tooth and nail with Strasbourg over summer over 2 or 3 million euro. So
it's not like there's a 20 million euro gap. You know what I mean? It's like
No.
That's what surprised me. It was a low fee to begin with, and we're like, like you're saying, we're fighting tooth and nail for it.
Yeah.
So I mean, something I don't know.
In a way, I guess it's good to see that they're being careful with their spending. Hopefully, it doesn't suggest that there's a bigger financial problem at the club. I hope not. But yeah, I think, as we've been saying for a long time, some action is needed, definitely with the contract renewals and the transfers. I mean, it doesn't look like we're going to bring anyone big in, unfortunately, over summer, but a few reinforcements would definitely help and are needed.
100%. And you just hope that we can, you just hope 2 things really. A, that we can maintain our form and get into the Champions League, at least for the revenue. Obviously, revenue during this COVID era is going to be a lot worse. No match day attendance, a lot less merchandise as a consequence. A lot of things really. But so A, you hope we can secure the Champions League qualification so we can get that revenue. And B, that we don't go down the path of what we're hearing about Inter nowadays, the struggles they're having. Steven Zhang struggling to sell the club. And a lot of players not getting paid. And there's a lot of, I don't know, I mean, how much of this has been verified, but definitely there's no smoke without fire. There's definitely something going on there. So hopefully we seem to be, to a degree, secure and stable at this stage. So let's hope at least it stays that way. Yeah,
and as you said with Inter, well, I think more widely, I think the whole football world is obviously feeling it. You're hearing reports from pretty much every league in the world, especially Europe, and that teams are struggling. So at least it's not just us, if that is the case.
Yeah, exactly. Here's hoping for the best. All right, we've got a couple of announcements, mate. Do you want to go first? I think yours is very exciting.
This is probably the most exciting news we've ever had, really. And that's that really Australian football icon. We can't talk him up enough, really. Michael Zapponi will be appearing on our next video, which is super exciting. I don't think either of you or I, Shady, expected us to be landing guests like that so quickly. Obviously, everyone's come along for the ride with us kind of finding our feet and finding our way through making this video and podcast. So it's huge to get someone on the video like him.
Yeah, great news. I really look forward to him and to getting his insight really on a lot of things, on all things culture and even like A-League. Be really good to get his feedback and insight, definitely 100%.
Absolutely.
Be really good to have him on.
Exciting.
Yeah, so that should be good on our next video. The second is that we've got available for pre-sale in both adult and children's sizes. We've got our new design. If everyone remembers, we had the t-shirt design competition for both our white and our black shirts. So we've got the new designs up on the website. We're also remaking the old black design due to popular demand. We've got that coming back as well. So please head to our website, milanclubmelbourne.com.au. Check out on the store, on the shop. Check out the shirts, and they are available for pre-sale at pre-sale rates.
Yeah. I will say, if you can get your hands on a black shirt, get your hands on one, because I haven't even been able to get my hands on one of the Milan Club Melbourne.
I've been struggling. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get one of those. So
I'm not gonna miss out this time. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah, hottest shirt in town.
Absolutely.
All right, mate. It's been great as always. I look forward, hopefully, after our next video, that'll be amazing. First of all, and also hopefully be recapping 2 wins against Torino and the team staying on top. Absolutely. As always, Forza Milan.
Forza Milan.